You got to give them credit. Heck of a play, but there's going to be a penalty. It's going to bring the play back and a mark off probably for holding against Woodbridge. Good break finally for the Devils.
After the holding penalty against the Vikings, it's now first down and long for the Vikings from their own 16-yard line. Once again, we have 3 wideouts, but they play it safe and run it right up the middle for a gain of about 2 or 3 quarter. We have 3 wideouts again against the Blue Devil defense, and this time Lopez is going to drop back to pass. Blue Devils are there on the rush, and the ball is thrown deep, one-on-one coverage, and the ball is knocked loose out there by Stefan Orange.
Actually, the Viking was probably defending against Orange that time. Devils tried to put on some pressure, but I tell you, the spread offense is really something for the Devils to contain, because on this side of the field, they got Dwella Dawes here. It has to be a man up on a wide receiver, and it's really stretching the Devils thin. But good play that time. Orange in perfect position. So 5:48 to go in the third quarter. Devils trail at 13-3, but it's going to be 3rd and 22. Long ways for pickup. Devils should be able to hold them.
3rd and a little over 20 yards for the Vikings. In the game now is Craig Rogers back deep as a safety, along with Stephen Barber. And there's the pass. Oh, he's pulling it down. He's going to run. He's got some ground. But it looks like number 22, Souter in on the tackle. Stefan Orange and Stephen Barber back deep again. It's a short, well, looks like Stefan Orange slipped that time, and he decides to stay out of the way, and the Vikings will down the ball at about the 33-yard line there, the Blue Devils. 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils. 2 receivers to the near side. There's a pit, reverse to Terrence Dinkins around the far side. He breaks the tackle, and he's gotten loose. Almost makes the second man miss, and he's tackled along the far sideline. High formation this time for the Blue Devils with Cagle to the near side. Jones in the backfield, and that's who the pitch is to. And there's another reverse. Fake reverse this time, as Brandon Jones is on the near side, just trips up over his own feet. If not for that, he would have gained a few more yards, but it should be a first down Blue Devils.
Looking at all of this misdirection here, it's like some of the Blue Devil opponents that we played against in the past. Looking at Madison and North Stafford run that against us, but seems to have Woodbridge back on the heels now. Maybe the Devils can keep it up. This is the 9th possession of the ball game, and they now have 10 first downs in the ball game.
And the Blue Devils are digging a little bit deeper into the playbook tonight as they're behind 13-3 with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. 3 wideouts to the far side. And Jenkins is back to pass this time, but he throws to the near side, and that's Lambert. And he's fighting him, and what a fight. He breaks that tackle, and eventually 2 other Vikings gang up on him to bring him down.
A lot of spirit that time, and I tell you, that young man's got a lot of athletic ability. Talked to Coach Sorrentino about him earlier this week, both his play at defensive end and what they can look for him at the tight end as well.
Blue Devil stretching things out here. Got 2 receivers this time, but there's a quick hand, fumble football. It looks like Jenkins picked it back up, and he just falls on it where it'll bring up 3rd down for the Blue Devils. 3rd and about 7. The field's a little bit slippery tonight. It's causing a little bit of fumbling problems. Jenkins takes the snap, looks to the far side, and there's Dinkins wide open, breaks the first tackle again, and he's on the way. Nobody's going to catch him this time. Touchdown, Blue Devils for the first time in the '99 season.
I'll tell you, it sure is sweet to be able to say that, Brian. That's a 33-yard touchdown. And, of course, once they got the ball out on the sideline to Dinkins and he shook that tackle. How many times we saw that last year? Almost 1,000 yards of receptions for Dinkins, 2nd team All-State. And that ball was zipped in there by Mike Jenkins. Just what you want to see. Greenaway on to attempt to add the 10th point now. 2:21 to go in the third quarter. Woodbridge leads at 13-9, and here comes the extra point.
There's the snap. The hole's down by Orange. The kick is up. It looks like it's straight down the middle, but no, the referees say it is wide. 2:21 to go in the third quarter. It's Woodbridge 13, Culpeper 9. It's Lamar Lane and David Wrighton back deep to collect Mike Greenaway's kickoff. And it backs up Lane to about his own 4-yard line. He looks things over. It's coming to the near side here, and the Blue Devils run him out of bounds. First down and 10 for the Vikings from their own 33. And Lopez is back to pass. He's got all kinds of time, and there's a streaker down the side, and the ball falls just incomplete.
Devils lucky that time. They had the blitz with Dawes coming on this side, and then the ball was underthrown on the far side and incomplete. 2:06 to go in the third quarter. 13-9, the Devils trail it.
Blue Devils look to stack the line here on second down, and the Vikings are running the ball, and they get a big hole. And it looks like Daniel Winning and Stephen Barber in on the tackle for the Blue Devils. After that nice gain by the Vikings, it's third down and about 3. The Vikings go to 3 wideouts now in the I formation. Lopez sets the line and takes the snap, and it's a quick handoff, and there's a nice little hole, and the Blue Devils gang up to close it down, but it looks like it's close to a first down. And on that tackle is Stephen Barber. First and 10 now as the Vikings are putting together a drive with 1:05 left to go in the third quarter. And it looks like the same formation as last time, except Lopez is looking to the near side, and 81's wide open, breaks the first tackle, and Daniel Winning saves a huge gain with another shoestring tackle.
Bad luck again for the Devils. Dawes slipped down, and it is muddy there, especially down near the sideline, and they pick up a second first down of this drive. They started on their own 33 just a moment ago. Inside a minute to go with the turning clock here in the third quarter. Woodbridge leading 13-3. They started on their own 33 and have now crossed midfield.
That's true, Brooks. You wouldn't think rain would have anything to do with this game after the drought this year, but that field is sure wet tonight. Lopez makes the quick handoff, and 39's breaking it wide, and Curtis Robinson slows him up a little bit, and he eventually falls down on his own after a gain of about 6 yards.
I tell you, and he made 2 great cuts, one after getting through the line, the other to get away from Curtis Robinson. As we said, coming up in the van, I noticed on the weather the last couple of days, they had 2 inches of rain on Wednesday and Woodbridge and 2 inches on Thursday. So it's there and it's out there. 10 seconds to go with the clock turning. That'll be the end of the third quarter. Woodbridge is going to take a 13-9 lead into the fourth quarter, and they're down in Blue Devil territory again.
Thanks for catching that Culpeper feeling with us on Channel 21. We love bringing you Culpeper Blue Devil football. These games are brought to you by the generosity of the following businesses and individuals.
Champion Chevrolet, where they've got the home field advantage.
Dairy Queen, hot eats, cool.
Scoring drive by the Blue Devils, one of their own. There's another quick handoff to 39 again, who's come into the game and made a big impact here recently. And on the tackle there for the Blue Devils, number 89, Adwella Dawes.
McClinton, I tell you, he's wearing Larry Zonka's number, and he's running like him. 2 very impressive runs here as they inch closer to the Devil goal line. Win the fourth quarter now. Devils got to stop him.
Third and about a half a yard to go here for the Vikings. Blue Devils sack the line, looking to plug up the holes there, except he goes back to pass, and it's one-on-one coverage. The receiver falls down, and there should not be a flag, and there isn't one on that play. Pass incomplete. 4th and a half a yard for the Vikings now. See if the Blue Devils can even plug up those holes or get the ball to bounce their way this time. Lopez looks him over. Is he going to keep it, or no? He's trying to draw him off sides. Looks like a little bit of jump in there. Keeps it to himself and run to the right side, and it's going to be close. First down and 10 for the Vikings as Lopez picked up the short yardage first down. Formation 2 to the near side. And it's a quick handoff to our man 39 once again, but this time he goes nowhere. And it looks like in on the tackle there for the Blue Devils who made the initial hit was 32, Jeremy Bailey. Second down and 11 for the Vikings. 9:40 left to go in the ball game here. The Vikings driving once again. Bobbled handoff again. The ball's bouncing around. Lopez picks it up. Just kind of falls off right tackle.
Brian, I tell you, with snake bit here in the swamp tonight, we can't get one of those things. Seemed like we could get one of those things, but there's been a number of misconnections between center and quarterback on both sides tonight. But it's 9:21 to go in the ball game. Devils trail it 13-9. Need to stop him here on third down and about 11 yards to go.
It's big play time again for the Blue Devil defense as the clock is winding down here in the game. They're only down by 4 points, 13-9. Lopez takes the snap, and the Blue Devils coming up the middle. He's looking long over the middle, wide open is number 22. He's down, and he's in for a touchdown.
Coverage broke down that time, I tell you, and he zipped that ball right on the line. 8:38 to go in the ball game. Score amounts to 19-9, and Woodbridge in just a moment attempt to add the extra point. Devils had pressure, but not when it counted, and the touchdown for Woodbridge looked very impressive. This Lopez can really zip that ball when he gets a chance.
Vikings PAT attempt is up and high enough. Let's see if it's in this time, and it is. 8:38 left to go in the ball game. The score is now Woodbridge 20, Culpeper Blue Devils 9. Back to receive this kick for the Blue Devils is Stephen Barber, along with Jermaine Kropp and Addison Deal. And the ball goes right down the middle to Barber. Or Brandon Jones, sorry. He gets tripped up by a good tackle there. Falls down right about the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 now for the Blue Devils from their own 26-yard line. 8:38 to go in the ball game. Trailing by 11 points, the Blue Devils need a big comeback. And Jenkins back to pass. He's got Dinkins. Tries to break a couple tackles, but this time he pretty well defended by his own defense there.
Of course, Woodbridge is going to be watching now. That's the combination to click for the Blue Devils highlight tonight. Touchdown pass, 33 yards. Got them within 13-9, but now 20-9. It's going to be tough for the Devils. 8:14 to go with a turning clock, so watch for Jenkins and Dinkins some more.
2nd and short for the Blue Devils. Let's see if they go deep this time, but no, they have to go for the first down, and it's going to be very close as to whether or not they get it, as Brandon Jones hit pretty hard right about at the line of scrimmage. Blue Devils pick up that first down and move the chains. 7:40 to go in the ball game now. Jenkins is back to pass, looking to the near side here. Dinkins runs by his man, but the ball is just out of his reach and is incomplete. 2nd down and 10 now for the Blue Devils. 7:33 to go in the ball game. 3 wideouts. And Jenkins is going to look for one of those. Dinkins is not open. Jones falls down as he catches the ball. And actually there's a loss on the play. Pass was actually incomplete on that last possession. It's 3rd down and 10 now for the Blue Devils. And Jenkins looks deep. He's going to the far side this time, under pressure. And the ball is picked off. And nice tackle made there by the Blue Devil defender to save a big run back.
Yeah, Brad Cagle popped him pretty good, but 37 came across. That was Branadi and intercepted. And I tell you, Mike is under a lot of pressure on that pass, but Branadi had real good position on the inside, was able to come up with a pick. So it was 7:07. Devils trail it 20-9 in the 4th quarter now, and the defense is going to have to hold them.
1st and 10 for the Vikings from their own 48-yard line. Looks like they're going to run the ball here, and they do. They give it to the running back over the right tackle, and looks like the ball is loose. Can we get a break here? And we do. It looks like they're ref signaling our ball.
It is, and Daniel Winning came up with the fumble recovery that time. It looked like it was Ryan back diving in that, knocked it loose. Big turnover at midfield. There's still hope for the Devils. There's 6:52 to go, but they need to strike quick, and they need to go deep right now.
After that fumble recovery, the Blue Devils gained about 20 yards of field position, so it was just as good as a completed pass there instead of the interception. Jenkins looks over the defense. He's got 4 wideouts this time. There's a nice pitch out to the left side, and Dinkins breaks 2 tackles. He's dragging the next one with him, and he's still going. Drags him down the near side, far sideline.
Bender tried to strip him that time, pull the ball loose, and that actually let him pick up about 5 or 6 more yards. That'll stop the clock. 6:43 left in the ball game now. And looks like we have a player down the field, and I think it's Dinkins that maybe got a cramp.
1st and 10 now for the Blue Devils from the Vikings 33. 3 wideouts, but this time there's a pitch reversed to Stefan Orange. No, Brandon Jones keeps the ball on the near side.
I think you're right the first time, Brian. He should have reversed it that time, but they've seen that play a couple of times now, and they were right on it. But they may fake off. They may throw the ball off that, but keep him honest. 6:14 to go in the ball game. He does pick up 3 yards. 20-9 in the 4th quarter. Woodbridge in the lead.
3 wideouts now for the Blue Devils, including John Cagle and Stefan Orange, except there's a quick hitter up the left side there, but he's not getting anywhere as about the whole Woodbridge defense tackles him. 3rd down, about 7 now for the Blue Devils. 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the game. 2 wideouts to the near side, and Jenkins is looking that way, except he throws to the tight end off the left side. He breaks a tackle, and it's Lambert rumbling down the sideline, and he's going to get there, and yes, he is in for a touchdown, Blue Devils.
I tell you, that was a great-looking screenplay, and Kyle Kennedy out there trying to get that kick-out block to the outside. Once Lambert got it, he showed that athletic ability we were talking about earlier. So he goes in for the TD with 4:57 left in the ball game. Score becomes 20-15 now, and let's see if the Devils go for 2 so they could tie it up with a field goal here.
And once again, we have 2 wideouts to the far side. Jenkins takes the snap, and he's looking over the middle. And actually, there's Cagle, and he drops the ball just off his fingertips.
Made the big reception last year at Brook Point we needed, so I guess he's entitled to drop one. So they'll just have to get the touchdown. A field goal won't do it. It's 4:57 to go in the game, 20-15.
It's Mike Greenaway for the kickoff here. Back deep is Wrighton and McDougal for the Vikings. And it's going to squibble back to the end zone and roll in for a touchback. No time off the clock during that kickoff return attempt because nobody touched the ball, so it's still 4:57 to go in the game. 20-15, Vikings lead. Lopez with a quick handoff up the middle. Looks like they're going to try and burn some clock here. And in on the tackle is number 22, Brendan Souter.
You got to like that little Brown. He runs real close to the ground. Of course, in there for ball control to keep possession now. 4:42 to go in the ball game.
2nd down and 5 for the Vikings with 3 wideouts. And there's the same man right up the middle again, trying to fall ahead for as many yards as he can get. Winning it on the tackle this time for the Blue Devils. 3rd down and 3 now for the Vikings with 3:35 to go in the ball game. 2 wideouts this time and 2 backs in the backfield. And there's the handoff again, and this time he is stopped right about the line of scrimmage, and Jeremy Bailey just lays a hit on him.
And they do not make the 30-yard line, so the Devils going to get the ball back. There's 3:18 left in the ball game, and McDougal was turned back. Devils will have a chance, and let's root here for a bad snap on the punt and take it over down the red zone, Brian.
The clock is still running as Stephen Barber awaits the punt attempt here. Blue Devils stack the line, but it's just a fake. Oh, they just get the kick away. Barber fields the punt and turns up the left side and is dropped down for after a gain about 4 or 5 yards. The Blue Devils have the ball about their own 48-yard line. 2:45 to go in the ball game, trailing by 5 points. Dinkins to the near side, Jones in the backfield, and Cagle to the far side. Jenkins takes the snap, is looking for Dinkins, and Dinkins is open, catches the ball, has 2 men on him, and he gets popped pretty hard and dropped right where he catches it.
They're giving him a pretty good cushion, and the Devils can take it and move on downfield. Of course, the clock is a factor, 2:33, and he picks up 11, so they'll stop at the 1st down. This is a 12th possession of the ball game for the Devils, and this is the important one.
Blue Devils now in the hurry-up as the head official starts the clock after that 1st down catch. Jenkins takes the snap. He's looking to the far side. He gets popped as he throws it. Dinkins was open on the far side, but the ball was overthrown. Clock stopped after that last incompletion by the Blue Devils. It's 2nd down and 10 now with 2:20 to go in the ball game. Still 3 wideouts, and Jenkins takes a timeout. After the timeout, it's still 2nd and 10 for the Blue Devils with 2:20 to go. 3 wideouts with Brandon Jones in the backfield. Cagle to the near side. Jenkins stumbles a little bit as he takes the snap. Pump fakes. He's got to get rid of it. He's looking. It's going to Cagle on the near side. Here's wide open. He goes to the middle of the field instead of the sideline and spins away, breaks the tackle. He's on his feet. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Blue Devils.
Brian, I'm going to tell you something, and you'll remember this, and the Blue Devil fans will remember it. Last year, the 2nd game of the year, we went down to Madison. We ended up losing that game. It was a great ball game. But in that game, when the Devils trailed at the very end, they had to have the touchdown. Same exact play went to John Cagle. He got away with that spin move. You just think it's not going to work, and there he goes round and around. At this time, it was Brad Cagle. You're exactly right. And now comes on Greenaway to add the extra point. Devils ahead 21-20. There's 2:05 to go in the game, and it's not over at all yet. And I think they're going to go for 2. I think you're right. Protect against the field goal. And I tell you, that was a super scintillating play and brought the Blue Devil fans alive on the far side of the field. What excitement for the Devils.
Blue Devils come to the line trying to extend their lead to 3 points. And it looks like Winning in the backfield as a fullback here. John Cagle in motion to the near side, and it's a handoff to Jones, and he's not going anywhere. 2:05 to go in the ball game. Culpeper has their first lead of the game, 21-20. And here comes Greenaway's kickoff. It's high and it's deep, and it backs lane up to about his own goal line. He brings it out to the near side. He's got a little bit of a hole, and then he is dropped by the entire Blue Devil special teams unit. Great team play there, and they're led by Stephen Barber and Curtis Robinson. The Vikings are into their 2-minute offensive mode as there is exactly 2:01 left to go in the game. They have 3 wideouts as Lopez takes the snap. And he's looking deep, and he's actually running with the ball. And here comes Winning over to try and make the tackle, and he runs out of bounds. 154.
Initial pressure was Saito from that defensive tackle. It flushed in on him. Of course, the Devils are playing really deep now. The safeties with Barber there along with Craig Rogers, and they dropped back at midfield that time. So 154 to go in the ball game. Devils a 1-point lead. Second down coming up in about 2.
2nd and 2 here for the Vikings from about their own 30-yard line. Blue Devils would like to keep them penned up in their own end here, as the Vikings do have a good field goal kicker. 3 wideouts again. Lopez is looking to the far side, and he's got wide open over the middle. What a great one-handed catch there in between 2 Blue Devil defenders.
That's right. He beat Chris Smith to the inside as a slant play, but I'll tell you, if they can hit that again and again, they'll move down the field, and they deserve to win the ball game. That's just a super play, as good as you want to see in high school. 1:48 now. They stop the clock to move the chains, and we'll crank it up again.
Blue Devils blitz on the play here. Lopez looking for someplace to go. He chucks it down the middle. Ball's wide, popped up in the air and falls incomplete. Blue Devils had a chance at an interception. Lopez with 3 wideouts again. He's going to be looking to throw the ball, and he takes a snap, and he's looking to the near side. He's being blitzed here. Looks like a little bit of holding going on. Lopez pulls it down and takes off with it. Pump fakes, got the first down, and is run out of bounds after picking it up. 1:17 to go in the ball game. Lopez takes the snap. He's looking over the middle here and going deep. No, right over the middle, pass incomplete. 1:10 to go. 2nd and 10 for the Vikings now from the Blue Devil 39-yard line. Blue Devils looking for the end zone first, but can get in field goal range with their decent field goal kicker. 3 wideouts again. Lopez drops back, blitz up the middle, throwing it deep. He's got a receiver open, intercepted by the Blue Devils, Stephen Barber. He's just kind of jogging up the sideline, protecting that ball. Big-time Blue Devil defense.
Hoisted it up from the 39. It hung in the air. And here comes Stephen Barber, and that's why he's second-team All-State, folks, and that's why he's a leader for the Devils. Look at him whoop it up on the far sideline. Oh, and I tell you, Craig Rogers said, glad you were the man with the plan and in the right place that time. 57 seconds to go. Devils with a 1-point lead. Let's see if they can run out the clock now. And I tell you, this will be a super first victory for the Devils. They can pull it off, because the people in this press box left the Blue Devils for dead when they were down 20-9 with 8:38 to go in the ball game. But they roared back with 2 touchdowns and made the big play on defense. And I tell you, these young men, there's some senior leaders stepping forward there, none bigger than Stephen Barber. And he's proven it for 2 years, all-district, all-region, second-team All-State last year, and he absolutely deserves it.
Oh, that's right, Brooks. Stephen Barber single-handedly quieted the entire Woodbridge sideline. Nice little handoff here. Looks like Jermaine Kropp on and covering it up with both hands. 51 seconds to go in the game for the Blue Devils. 2nd down and about 5 yards for the Blue Devils. See if we can run the clock out here. Another handoff to Kropp, and he's dropped for a short loss on the play. And Woodbridge has just called another timeout. 3rd and 5 for the Blue Devils after the timeout. 46 seconds to go. And the Blue Devils call a timeout this time. Well, Brooks, let's see if we can get a play in this time. Still 3rd and 5 after 2 timeouts here. And Jenkins pitches the ball out wide. It's Brandon Jones. He's got the first down. There's a flag on the play. After the holding call against the Blue Devils last time, it's 3rd down and long from the Blue Devils' own 32-yard line. So this is a big play for the Blue Devils here. And they play it safe right up the middle in the game, maybe about 2 or 3 yards. 4th down and 25 for the Blue Devils with 2 seconds left to go in the game after a delay of game penalty, so they don't have to punt the ball. All we have to do here is Jenkins takes the snap, takes a couple steps, and sits on it. And that's what he does, and that should be the end of the ball game.
I like the way you said that, Brian. It should be the end of the game, because nothing was for certain tonight. That was actually Blue Devils' 13th possession of the game. Woodbridge had 12, so we ended up one more possession. We ended up with 1 more point. 21-20, Devils take it, and I tell you, people left them for dead when they were behind. 8:38 to go in the ball game, down 2 touchdowns. Went to Lambert on that great screen for 1 touchdown, and to Brad Cagle to bring them back. Of course, The Devils super when it counted. They get off to a 1-0 start. We'll turn home, play Madison next week. And I tell you, as Frank Beamer in Blacksburg always says, you make your most improvements between the first game and the second game. We'll see if that's true. We don't have to go on the road again for several more weeks. Go to Albemarle, and then we'll be back in early in October for the Blue Devils before we have to go on the road again. So join us at Broman Field in Culpeper, and we're going to have a big old time and enjoy it. Madison's coming in. Of course, they beat Culpeper last year. They're single-A school playing triple-A, and we got something to pay them back for. So that's going to be an exciting game. Had a big old time up here tonight in Woodbridge. There's a little rain falling now, but Brian, we thoroughly enjoyed it, and look forward to next week.
Oh. I was going to give you that score, but it's gone. Okay. And the final score on the missing scoreboard here was actually the Blue Devils won the game 21-20 over the Woodbridge Vikings.
This is Brooks Green along with Brian Wolf. We're here tonight at Broman Field to see Culpeper take on the Madison Mountaineers. Culpeper comes in 1-0. They won last week at Woodbridge, and of course this is the first game for Madison. We're looking for a big exciting contest tonight. 2 stars to watch for on the Madison team. Raymond Kirkley, almost 2,000 yards rushing the ball last year, and of course Juan Brown at the wide receiver, over 1,000 yards receiving. Madison does have to replace that quarterback. They still have Coach Eddie Dean, 33 years, 275 wins. They finished second in the state in single-A last year with a record of 12-2. And for the Blue Devils, of course, they were second in the region last year, and they have Mike Jenkins returning along with Terrence Dinkins. Last week, Mike Jenkins threw for 3 touchdown passes, 1 to Dinkins, 1 to Brandon Lambert, and 1 to Brad Cagle, of course, was the game winner. So we're back with Blue Devil football, and once again, as we told you last week, baseball coach Mark Settle said to his son Brandon just before school started last week, it's bad news and it's good news. Bad news is Mom and Dad have to go back to work and go back to school, and the good news is it's almost time for football. And Brandon, the little 4-year-old, looked up at him and said, you mean it's time for Blue Devil football? And it absolutely is, and you're going to see it right here tonight on Channel 21. We'll be back in just a moment with Brian Wolf and the opening kickoff.
Thanks for catching that Culpeper feeling, and thanks for joining us for Culpeper Blue Devil football on Channel 21. These games are brought to you by the generosity of the following.
Pelham Court Motors.
And we are underway in the first home game of the Blue Devil season, and once again it's a short kickoff for the Mountaineers. And it's Matt Gaskin on the return, and the Blue Devils will have good field position to start the game. Just underway here at Broman Field. 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils from the 41. It's Brandon Jones up the right side, and he makes the first man miss, and he's brought down here on the near side by 3 or 4 Mountaineers. 2nd down and 5 now for the Blue Devils. 3 wide receiver set. Brandon Jones in the backfield. Jenkins back to pass, looking to the far side, and there's Terrence Dinkins.